Good morning, I'm Tim. It's 6:30:14. It's Monday afternoon, so a little bit after 5. This is my thoughts, my ramblings, my story. Saturday the 5th is Max's birthday, so I'll do, I'll have something to say for Max in tribute to him by then. Uh, I was doing a meditation in the chair a little while ago, and Ida came to mind. Ida was one of my hospice patients, and we were together about 14 months. And I was thinking about a lot of things. She was Rosicrucian, which is, I guess, one of the oldest religions. She was 84, I think, when I knew her. She was dying of cancer, and she was originally from Texas. She had two sons. One had died. Then she was in San Francisco in the 50s, and she had a radio or a television show about psychics and spirituality and spiritualism and things like that, which I imagine was a big step back then, but I don't know how progressive San Francisco was. She believed in reincarnation, which I do also, and we'd sit down and talk about things like that, and neither one of us believed in hell. After the wreck in 84, and they told me that I'd been dead for 4 or 5 minutes, I started reading stories of people who had died and things. Daniel Brinkley's died 3 times. He's written, I think, 4 books now, and they made a movie about him, and quite a few others. Um, so we talked about it, and with reincarnation, if you reincarnate, that kind of, why would you have a hell? Do you only go there for a little while before you reincarnate, or how does it go about? And if you go through the Bible, they talk about it all the time. They talk quite often in there. They talk about reincarnation. They didn't remove it all when the Catholic Church decided that they couldn't control us well enough if we thought we had a second chance. Um, she believed that we don't, we just don't come in, good old saying, willy nilly. Now, we don't come in just poof, we're in. If there's no hell and we get a chance to repeat, do we just come back in for whatever? Daniel talks about when he died, when he went through his life review, that there was nobody there judging him, telling him you did this wrong, you did this right, that a boy, or you should have done this differently. Um, he didn't go to hell, which he says surprised him a lot, because everything he ever taught, he knew that's where he was going. And if this is a schoolhouse where we come in to learn and we do our own life review when we leave, wouldn't we be the ones who would decide what we need to learn the next time we come back? I'm sure that we have guides and things and friends that help us, because we have a soul family on the other side that we go back to when we leave here. When we come back in, a lot of the people from our soul family are incarnated at the same time, and we come back to help one another and work with one another. So if we could figure out what we want to do and what we want to accomplish, and we make out a list or whatever, things that we thought we should, lessons we'd like to learn. I don't think that we set up how we go about learning them. I think we do say that we need to work on different parts of what we know will bring us spiritual growth on the other side. Unfortunately, when we get here, we forget all about them. But just think if everybody could think that way, that they chose to come here, and what you're doing right now and where you're at is exactly where you chose to be at, and going through whatever it is that you're going through. And rather than woe is me, how about if we can mentally step back from the situation and look at it through different eyes or from another angle and see what lessons are there to be taught? Because if there's no hell, is there good and bad? Is there right and wrong? Or is it all lessons? If we see it from this perspective, and that son of a bitch killed so and so, but what if what he did was free that other person from a buildup of karma that he would have to take a few lifetimes to go through? And by him doing whatever he did, helped the other person so they didn't have to go through as much karma, but also the person who murdered him, shot him, stole from him, whatever, it also helped him, so he moved up some, because everything we do has consequences. And how about it having a positive consequence instead of us always seeing the negative? Because a child comes in, he's only here for 2-3 days and he dies, and that's horrible. Well, that could be all that that child needed to move up higher, or he could have come in to teach others something about loss, um, how to look at death, how to look at children. You know, there's so many implications that we don't know, we don't understand, and a lot of times we're too quick to judge. Where if we just stop for a minute and think and look at things from a different situation, it's, I can't say it's all been planned out to go a certain way, but I think the outline's there. From what I've been told, I'm a slow learner. That's why it took me 5 motorcycle accidents to change what I was doing. But then I look at it and I've broken my neck. Again, when I wasn't on a motorcycle, I got the blood poisoning and almost left. Quite a few things have happened to me not on a motorcycle. And it seems about every 3 or 4 years, something major happens. And I've come to the point that I wish the people around me would wake up, because I think I'm supposed to be teaching them lessons. I'm tired. I want to go home. But until I complete whatever it is I came here to do, it doesn't seem like it's going to be happening within the next couple of days anyway. But it's just some of my thoughts and some of my ramblings. You know, we look at our life, and maybe what I'm saying will give you a little bit different perspective on how you see things. At night when you lay down and you go through your happenings of the day, you know, seeing things you might have wanted to do differently or could have done better. Um, you release all the things that you can no longer serve. They don't serve your highest and greatest good. You've outgrown them. They're nothing that you need to keep with you. But through fear of change, we hang on to things. Because if we let things go, what's going to replace it? When you let things go, see it, that space being filled up with the white light, the love, the consciousness of the universe, of Christ, of the Creator, whatever you'd like, but see it being filled. Don't leave a void there, because then negativity, all kinds of stuff can creep in. It's like when you open your heart and you send that love out, see more love flowing in through you, flowing out through your heart. You don't want to leave your, yeah, it's just something that I feel a lot better doing if I fill the space rather than leaving a void. At night when you go, if you do this, it'd be a good habit, or during the day, whenever. I try and do it sometimes during the day. Think about what I've done recently and things, and what I might have been able to do differently. Daniel has a saying, it's Daniel Brinkley, and I think his website is daniel.org. But one of his sayings is, God couldn't be here today, so he sent you instead. What difference did you make in someone's life, or in the lives of those? Okay, I screwed it up really good. Paraphrasing, I don't, something to the effect of, God couldn't be here today, and he sent you instead. What difference did you make in someone's life? I'll stop there. It might be a little bit longer. I don't remember. I tried to remember it and I was screwing it up, so we won't have to do that. I covered. I'm getting in my mind. There's times that we just want so much for things to be different, and we feel lost because they're not. These are times when we need to sit down and take a few deep breaths and go inside. And as you go inside, look at what you do have. Look at the things that are around you, that you've been given, that you've earned, the things that you appreciate. Look at all those that are around you. And then the things that you're upset about. Is it something you can change? Is it something that's it'd be nice to have? You know, have you? I've done it to myself before. Started thinking about something and then got upset because it wasn't going that way. And then when I stopped and actually looked at it, and what would I have done with it anyway? We have a. Sometimes we buy things that way. We see something and realize, man, we got to have that. We really want it, and then we buy it. And it's kind of like, we ought to have some kind of a delay. Well, a delay between our mind and a lot of things. With me, it's usually a delay between my mind and my mouth. Because sometimes I think they forgot to put that little filter in there. Because my mouth will start moving and I'll think to myself, I didn't want to say that. But it's already too late. It's out and gone. Well, I just had a feeling I was supposed to mention Ida and say something about reincarnation and how we look at ourselves and things that we would like to change. Because life gets really boring if you aren't in a state of change. Your body's always in a state of change. Cells are dying and new ones are growing. We need to do that with our life experiences. Things around us, things that no longer serve us, things are no longer for our highest and greatest good. It's time to release them. It's time to bring in the light, love. And remember, in the end, only kindness matters. And it doesn't cost a damn thing, so spread it around. That's about all I've got. When I'm sitting in my chair, there's so much more. When I get up and come in here, most of it leaves. So hopefully the more I do this, the more that'll stay and stick around. Peace, love, and light. Good night.